Steve, when the band came together, which was what, about 4 years ago? 5 years?
No, about nearly 7 years ago.
7 now?
Yeah.
How did they come about selecting a name Iron Maiden?
Well, it's, I don't know if, you know, it's like a medieval torture device. I don't know if you knew that.
Explain it.
Well, it's like a big case with spikes in it. You just stick someone inside it and then close, you know, spikes go right through.
The blood runs out all of the
Real nice stuff.
Real pleasant, yeah. Torture.
So, were you into the medieval thing, or how did it, that, you know,
yeah,
his idea was?
I like quite a lot of sort of medieval music and stuff, and old films with that sort of thing in it. And I like sort of Jethro Tull, do a lot of medieval stuff. I really like them.
Right, now, the change in membership, what brought that about? Was there a break of some time, or did you just decide you'd change out with a couple of guys?
Well, Paul didn't really like, the old singer Paul didn't really like touring and that, and we took, I mean, like this year we'd sort of tour in 10 months, and last year we did about 7 months.
Yeah.
And he got really sort of tired of it, and after Kalamazoo he always wanted to go home and that, you know, so he wasn't really getting into it on stage, and so we sort of decided it was like a mutual thing to split up.
And it's only the one guy that's changed?
We've had a couple of other changes before that, but Clive joined us the drummer joined us about 3.5 years ago.
Right.
And Adrian joined us, the other guitarist, joined us about 2.5 years ago, isn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
So it's been pretty stable for a while. When you're on stage, how many lights do you use? Some incredible figure.
Oh, I don't know exactly how many it is, it's really hot.
Reading was a bit of a record for us. We used about 500,000 watts, 500,000 watts of light.
Do you know what temperature it would be on stage while you're working? Has anyone... H-O-T.
Actually, no one's actually measured it.
No one's...
We measure everything else. We measure the number of dB we
usually
put
trip when we spit
Right,
over a couple of numbers, so...
Yeah, with the gear, do you lose weight? Do you sort of come off about 3 or 4 kilos lighter?
Yeah,
I suppose we must do a little bit.
Yeah, we put it back on afterwards when we're drinking.
Right.
In the bar, yeah.
Yeah, water
Dehydration is a
or
problem,
liquid
yeah.
straight away would put it back on, wouldn't
Yeah,
it? Get around that as quick as I
We got
can.
the ready for dehydration.
Do you do anything prior to going on stage, having to work under those conditions, that, you know, to prepare yourself? Physically, I mean?
Keep yourself in shape generally a little bit. You know, it helps.
What do you do outside of the band? What are your pastimes?
I'm really into football, soccer, I don't know what you call it over football.
Right,
And tennis and most sort of sports, really.
Any one particular soccer team you follow?
Oh, yeah, West Ham United.
West Ham, right?
Yeah.
And yourself, mate?
Water sports.
Water sport?
I haven't said any more than that.
Where did you get the title Air Raid Siren? I haven't heard any of those interviews you've done, so tell me, and I guess a lot of people out there would like to know.
Well, it started out from some guy who didn't actually, was less than complimentary about my singing. Yeah, he said something like, this, you know, the new singer sounds like he's putting all the songs to an air raid siren in a cement mixer or something like that. So, I thought it was pretty funny, and everybody else did, so they called me the air raid siren. So I don't mind, you know.
Guys, we've got to say goodbye. We'll go out with Gypsy Fleetwood Mac, Steve and Bruce. Good luck on the Australian visit, eh?
Yeah, thanks very much.
And now, Miss Sally James, in conversation with some heavy metallic persons. Take it away, Sally. Exits.
Big welcome to Iron Maiden, to Steve, Clive and Bruce. Nice of you to come along and see us. Steve, just let's quickly run through the history of Iron Maiden, because you formed the group sort of 1977 when heavy metal wasn't quite so in vogue as it is now, was it?
Actually, it was a little bit before that. It was about
it?
76.
Yeah.
So it was just before the punk thing was sort of coming in.
And
we had a real lot of trouble getting work, you know, sort of during the punk times and that, you know.
A few people tried to pressurise you into changing into a punk band, didn't they?
Yeah, there's a couple of record companies which I won't name who sort of asked us to cut our hair and that, and so we said, well, I won't tell you what we said, but
thank you
we
for
said
that.
no anyway.
You said no, right, in the nicest possible way. Clive, you, of course, joined about 1979.
Yeah.
The tide was turning, and you had quite a bit of success.
Yeah, we
quite quickly, didn't you?
Yeah, with the first album. It really went well for us, you know, went straight into the charts at number 4 and done really well, and we haven't really looked back since then. You know.
So from sort of humping all your own gear around and all that trudging
makes
around,
a change,
you suddenly the big time. Lovely. Now, Bruce, you only joined a few months ago, didn't you?
Yeah, just after August last year, no, September last year.
I know Iron Maiden have had a few line-up changes, but they had been sort of fairly settled with the line-up. Was it quite difficult for you going in and joining an established band, an established line-up?
Not really, because we've sort of known each other for quite a long while. Through my last band I was in, so I mean it all fitted in really well. Really, I mean we like the same sort of music, so there's no real problem. Really.
Yeah. Now last year you did a thing called The Killer Tour, which was very appropriately named because you did something like, what was it, 120 gigs in how many months?
About 6.5 months.
I mean, did you find it actually killing? It sounds horrendous.
Towards the end, yeah, it was a bit, you know, a bit sort of much towards the end, but really enjoyed it. It was great. We went to so many countries and that. So,
because you have got success all over the world, haven't you? In fact, really, you'll probably sell more records in other countries than here, don't you?
Yeah, we do, yeah. The States really is the one that we're trying to
break. Yeah. You're off to the States shortly, aren't you?
Yeah, a couple of months we'll be over there.
And Japan, you've been voted sort of top group, most promising group and all this, so you're going there as well, are you?
Yeah, we'll be off to Japan again as well.
So you start a British tour when? February the
25th.
25th, and you'll be off for quite a few months then?
About 8 months this year.
Yeah. Now, we had Lemmy here last week, and he was saying that Motorhead have found it difficult to get into the studio because they spent so much time touring, they found it difficult to record. Do you have that problem?
Yeah, we've had exactly the same problem. I mean, in fact, we're still, after this show, we go straight down and finish off the album, you know.
Yeah, and that'll be out shortly, will it?
Yeah, it comes out March the 5th.
Now, sitting behind you is a person called Eddie. Now, Iron Maiden fans will probably recognise him instantly. Tell me very briefly, Steve, because I'm going to go a frantic wind-up, the history of Eddie.
Well, we used to have this backdrop when we was playing the pubs with this little egg we built.
Yeah.
It had blood come out the mouth and this sort of thing. And we built another one, and it was a bit bigger, lights come out the eyes and smoke. We used to call it Eddie the Ed, and it just kind of expanded into this, like,
so he's like
this thing here, you know. He keeps following us around, actually.
Is he sort of like your mascot, Bruce?
He's very fat at the moment, actually.
Is he?
He needs to go on a diet.
Well, if he goes on tour, he'll soon lose the weight. Now, Eddie's going to give away that jacket, isn't he?
Very fine. Yes, this
Covered in badges collected from the last American tour. What do they have to do to win it, Clive?
Well, they've got to guess what song Eddie comes on our set. When we do a live set show, what song does he come on in?
Okay, entries to our usual address, of course, which is Tiswas Central, P.O. Box 333, Birmingham B11TY.
Take my life, but I'll take yours too. You fire musket, but I'll run you through. So when you're waiting for the next attack, you better stand, there's no turning back. The viewer sounds, the charge begins. But on this battlefield, no one wins. The smell of ice smoke and horse's breath. As a virgin into certain death.
Yeah, it's always been pretty much a people sort of band in that sense. We've never really been creations of the media or radio or anything like that. In fact, if anything, we haven't exactly gone out of our way to please them.
The fans wanted to hear rock bands, and they didn't want to listen to punk or new wave or disco or whatever, you know. There was the fans definitely there that wanted to hear new bands. There's just hardly any new bands breaking through, you know. So when bands did start to get work and in the clubs and stuff, there was always the fans there, you know, packing out the places to go and see them.
The thing is with heavy rock is that Iron Maiden has always been a collection of heavy rock fans. The only difference between us and the audience is that we just happen to be standing up there playing the instruments, really. I mean, as far as our tastes in music are concerned and our attitude to things in general, I think we're pretty much the same, really.
And that's one of the reasons why I formed Maiden, you know, in the early days, because I wanted to play rock music, and I didn't want to play punk or new wave. I didn't want to have spiky hair and just, you know, stupid clothes, you know what I mean?
It's just that I think there's quite a lot of humour in life in general, and I think it tends to come out in the sort of music we do. At the same time, I mean, whatever it is, 85,000 watts of PA and all the rest of it, and all these lights, it's really difficult to sing about, you know, sing about tulips and daffodils and flowers and stuff like that with all that racket going on. You've got to sing about something, I mean, the end of the world is a kind of appropriate sort of subject for artists, you know.
It's not violent aggression, it's just like pure, intense sort of adrenaline, you know. It's just having a good time, letting off steam and really sort of going, forgetting all your problems, go and have a good laugh. And, you know, I think most of the fans feel that way when they come out, they're exhausted, you know, probably as exhausted as we are. And they feel they've really had a good night out.
Most people spend most of their lives trying to escape from something, whether it's going into the pub and having a few drinks, or whether it's going and watching a ball game, or, you know, whatever they do, you know, American football or something. That's all forms of escape, and there's nothing wrong with that, because what they're escaping into is their own imagination. I mean, that's the thing with touring. I mean, for 9 months of the year, that's what we do, and that's how you survive it. That is your life. Touring is your life, so you never even consider the possibility of doing anything else. So that's how you tend to survive. You just go for it every night. Your life does tend to be ruled by the show.
The main thing is the playing on stage. You know, for the hour and a half, hour 45 on stage, it's worth everything, you know. And everyone gets a bit tired now and again, or whatever. You know, sometimes
whatever. But,
yeah,
you know, you go on, you do it. I mean, in that sense, we've got quite a lot in common with the more, you know, traditional forms of, you know, circus and stuff like that. You know, the show always goes on, whatever anybody feels like. I mean, it's amazing what the human mind and body can stand when you're having a good time.
Sabéis, la semana pasada estuvo por aquí el grupo Iron Maiden y Eddie les cogió por banda, ya que no sabéis lo que les hizo. Una entrevista. Ahí está.
Hoy vamos a despedirnos con el grupo Iron Maiden. Ellos están compuestos por Nick, Bruce, Adrian, hi, y Dave.
How you doing?
Aparte de todo, hi, fine.
Yeah, wonderful.
Y nada, vamos a hablar un poquito del público español. What you think about? Oh, what you think about the Spanish public?
Wonderful. They're great. I mean, tremendous. They gave us such a good reaction this year, and all the concerts, like Nick said, all sold out. A gold album, absolutely fantastic. The best. I think they're some of the best kids in Europe.
Oh,
no doubt about it.
You'll be glad about it.
You think I like it? I think I like it. Yeah.
Bueno, dices que sois fantásticos, que sois los mejores y que han vendido todas las entradas en todos los conciertos, han obtenido discos de oro y que nada, que espera estar muy pronto con vosotros. And ¿qué tenéis para el futuro? ¿Cuándo vais a volver? What do you have planned for the future, and when are you going to come back to the program?
Well, in February we're going to start writing and rehearsing, getting the stuff for the new album together. So we're going to take a few days out from that and come back and do the show in early February sometime, I think.
Bueno, nos dice que en febrero supone que van a volver y que la primera semana de febrero y que tendrán un álbum preparado que lo dejarán por unos días para venir a estar con nosotros. Well, vamos a despedirnos ahora, pero antes de despedirnos tenemos un vídeo vuestro, sabemos que no podéis actuar, pero you can introduce us the video that you have.
Yeah, this is a song called The Trooper, and it's about a soldier in the charge of the Light Brigade who, along with 599 of his comrades, fight to the death in the Crimean War, which goes to show you how stupid war is. Okay?
Bueno,
Absolutely.
Bueno, el vídeo es el tema de un soldado que pelea, un soldado que está peleando por Rusia y con más gente y que demuestra lo estúpida que es una guerra. El vídeo se llama The Trooper.
If you're going to die, die with your boots on.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
Well, it was actually said about a regiment of Scots Guards in the Second World War, and there was a book written about them called They Died with Their Boots On, which I suppose was about the best thing the sergeant could say about about the guys he was working with. And it was it's not really a very much used phrase, but it just struck me as being one that might be worth reviving for a song title.
It's catching on.
Yeah, well,
I've heard it used in slang.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Partying or whatever.
That's right.
If you're going to die with your boots on.
Well, that's it. If you're going to go for something, go for it.
That's it.
So exactly the same attitude as we have on stage and we have off stage. You know, work hard and play hard. You know, whole thing.
What do you consider a highlight in this year's tour, this show? In your show, what do you consider the highlight? Other than the encore.
The highlight.
Is there a particular point that you get a reaction every concert that you know when you do this particular movement or this particular thing happens, it's going to bring the house down?
I think when Eddie walks on stage at the end, it's always a moment everybody looks forward to. Still even after hundreds of shows, it's always good fun. You know, it always is great. Because he goes nuts every night. You know, we never quite know what he's going to do.
I used different, didn't it? You know, Mum said to come over, put you all these on. She said, she said, get the thermal underwear out. That's what she said. That's right. Any Yankee
That's what my girlfriend said before we came over. Just get the thermal underwear out. Make sure you don't have any holes in it. There you go.
You rang. Who's not going to open up? Oh, Mayo! Mayo! Fantastic!
Welcome to Spain. Welcome to Tocata. Steve, hay gente que opina que el heavy es solamente ruido y agresividad. ¿Qué piensas tú de esto?
I think the people that say that don't really know what they're talking about.
Dave, where is Dave? Dave, oh, Dave, la música heavy tiene un ruido muy especial. ¿Es posible hacer esta música vestidos de calle?
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, preferably with underpants and socks. Probably why we play so as we do. Anyway, next.
La próxima. Where is Nico? Nico! Oh! Nico, hello. Aquí estamos trabajando.
You've changed colour since I last saw you.
Yeah. ¿Crees que la música heavy es una música momentánea o es la música del futuro, la música de los 80?
No, not at all. I mean, it's been around since 70, isn't it? It's early 60s, late 50s. I mean...
And 80s?
Well, should think so now. I mean, you've got the boys to contend with, see? I mean, we're making up for all the 60s, 70s and 50s put together. Definitely so.
Bruce, ¿qué debe hacer un cantante en un grupo heavy? ¿Qué diferencia? ¿Qué hace un cantante en un grupo heavy?
I think it should be very fat, overweight, can't sing at all. And that's why they got me, because I couldn't sing. And I still can't. So that's why they employ me, you see. The main thing to be is to be unable completely to sing anything at all.
Absolutely talentless. That's what it's the main thing about it, see.
Adrian. Hello, Adrian.
Hello.
¿Cuáles son las características de un guitarrista?
First of all, you've got to have a guitar. It's quite important. And I think it's you've got to try and develop your own sound and style, because there's such a lot of guitarists. It's hard to. You've got to be different, and just try and write, you know, sort of memorable songs in it, you know.
Nico.
Yes, sir.
Nico. Yes, sir.
Getting closer to me when he's doing me. What's the deal?
En el rock duro se debe tocar muy fuerte la batería. Oh.
No, I mean, look at. I mean, I'm got a few bit there, you know. No, the main thing you got to have is balls.
Es increíble, parece que es imposible hacer una entrevista con los chicos de Iron Maiden preparando hoy la gala de Tocata. Dime.
That's what she said last night, anyway. And no, you have to have stamina. And she also said that last night. You do. No, you don't have to be massive He-Man to play heavy rock.
Vamos a ponernos serios. Yo creo que el único serio es este señor. ¿Cuáles son los proyectos de Iron Maiden? Which are the projects of Iron Maiden?
In March we got recording an album, and the album will be released in July, August, and we start another world tour in July, and it'll be for 11 months, right from July to May.
¿Y tocar en vivo, play live in Spain? When?
Around about August. Yeah.
¿Para agosto? August,
yeah.
1984?
Oh, yeah.
1985, 1980. Gracias. Son los chicos de Iron Maiden preparando aquí. Bueno, supongo que dentro de unos segundos empezarán a vestirse en este Tocata especial, hoy heavy especial con la gente, con el grupo. Ellos son los protagonistas, Iron Maiden. Thank you very much.